Canola School on RealAgriculture.com is brought to you by Alberta Canola Producers Commission, SAS Canola, and Manitoba Canola Growers.
Dave Gallant of the Canadian Canola Growers Association joins us here on this episode of the Canola School. And Dave, we know cash flow is, of course, of utmost importance for producers, and the CCGA administers the cash advance program. There have been some changes to cash advances, the way they work in Canada over the last year or so. Why don't you fill us in on how things have changed?
Yeah, there were a number of legislative changes that were introduced last February by the federal government. So they've eliminated the withhold that farmers used to have to pay on top of their advance. So we would issue $100,000, but the farmer would actually only get about $98,000. That's been eliminated. Now the farmer gets the entire amount that they've requested. It's also made it a more competitive environment in terms of we as CCGA are now issuing on 45 commodities across Western Canada. Prior to that, it was 25 commodities. So for a farmer, they can go to us as an administrator, as an example, and receive all their advances on all their cereals, coarse grains, livestock, etc., for one administrative fee, whereas before they needed to go to multiple administrators depending on which commodities those administrators administered.
Okay, there is that competitive component now, though, where producers can choose who they get their advance through.
That is correct. So there are other administrators in Western Canada that administer commodities within Manitoba, Saskatchewan, and Alberta, and they have the rights now to issue things like wheat or canola in their provinces. But again, we're the only ones who can issue for all cereals, oilseeds, coarse grains, and livestock from Manitoba right through to BC. So it gives farmers an option, and it allows us to compete on a service level with those farmers, or with those other organizations.
Mm-hmm. So seeding season is, of course, around the corner. That's when the new cycle for cash advances starts?
That's correct. So the 2016 program starts April the 1st. We will start taking applications from farmers earlier than that, usually the first week of March. They can contact us, fill out their paperwork so that everything is complete and ready to go, and on April 1st we will direct deposit their money directly into their bank accounts.
So what are the terms again? Maybe just go through, refresh us on what's available.
So for a grain advance, if you take it out on April the 1st, you have 18 months to repay it, so it's not due until September 30th of 2017. If it's a livestock advance, for instance on cattle, you take it out April 1st, it's not due until March 31st, 2018. So you got 24 months on a cattle advance.
Okay. Do you see any trends in terms of farmer participation or uptake in cash advances?
We've seen a slight growth in the number of farmers who use the program. What we're trying to do is inform farmers and educate them on the advantages of using the cash advance program. We've done a very good job of promoting that we are an administrator of the program, and now we're trying to encourage farmers to look at the program as a source of financing for their farm to ensure that they take advantage of what the government is offering them.
Over the years, there's also been talk about raising the cap on the program. That hasn't happened at this point?
It hasn't happened. It was discussed at the last legislative review. The government, the Conservatives at the time, were not willing to look at increasing the caps. We still are actively engaged with the federal government on explaining why the caps should be looked at and what levels they could be at to better serve farmers' needs now than the last time they were changed, which was over a decade ago.
So do you have a position that you would like to see the cap raised?
Yes, we'd like to see the cap raised. We believe that what was relevant for a farm 10 years ago is not a relevant amount for a farm today. So the program overall cap is $400,000. And that was much more meaningful to a farm 10 years ago than it is to a much larger farm today. So we're hoping that we can provide enough evidence to the minister and to the department to justify increasing those limits.
Okay. Finally, if producers want more information online, what's the best place to look?
They can go to ccga.ca and we will gladly answer all their questions. It has all the information about the cash advance program. If they want to apply for a cash advance, our 1-800 number is on that site, and that is probably the quickest and easiest way to do it for about 15 minutes of their time. Our staff will take care of all their information requirements, fill out the application, and mail it to them for signature.
All right. Thanks for your time, Dave.
Thank you very much.